All right, welcome, entertainers, to my third podcast hosting. It's the Royal Rumble Weekend Review Podcast. Um, Not too shabby. I actually started a couple minutes later than I wanted to, but that was just to set things up so that way we can hopefully go on without a hitch. And it started as quick as it could. So, um, my co-host, Cleveland, a.k.a. Black Arrow, will be will be joining in just a little bit. So I just wanted to start off this podcast and introduce myself. Some of you, and hopefully most of you, will know me as Mr. Entertainment. And I follow events that I give coverage for. Sorry if I sound nervous. I've actually hadn't done my own podcast in about 2 years now, over 2 years. But I follow events and I do coverage on them, and I post them on social media. I haven't done YouTube and also in a while. Kind of stopped vlogs, with the demonetization frenzy that YouTube went through. But enough about me. You guys have tuned in to hear me talk about the Royal Rumble weekend review. And it was quite the weekend. This is a weekend, one of the biggest weekends in WWE for fans to enjoy. And with the addition of NXT TakeOver, it just adds more excitement to the already built-up atmosphere that WWE creates during these weekends, especially during Royal Rumble weekend, which is officially starts the road to WrestleMania. I'm not going to get into the events right away because I want to wait until Cleveland gets here, which hopefully will be soon. So I'm not putting myself over too much, as they say in wrestling. But I can tell you overall that I have enjoyed this weekend from a wrestling fan's perspective. The Royal Rumble weekend. There was a lot of match of the year contenders actually from both NXT and WWE. So a lot of both rosters brought their A games in both events this past weekend on the WWE Network. And I guess that is one thing I could mention is if you guys have any questions for me or Cleveland that are about WWE related or NXT or wrestling related overall, or just personal questions for us. I think we'll take pretty much any question as long as they're appropriate. Just hashtag them RRWR. That's RRWR. Just four simple letters. No, it's not a Star of a New Wrestling promotion. We're not the elite. It is just the hashtag I thought was easiest for my followers and listeners now to use when tweet or send us questions on our live chat on YouTube. And it's the initials of this podcast. So pretty easy to remember. I actually had to debate whether I wanted to use the four letters and the word podcast or just the four letters. So sorry for the brief pause. Just wanted to see how we are doing here as I stream this live. Nope, I don't want to go there. We want to go here. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, YouTube is pretty cool when it has a live control room for a stream such like this. So everything's looking tip-top shape. All right, it's been 8 minutes that Cleveland told me that I would give him. So actually, let's give him. I guess I don't need to call him on the phone because I think that would be unprofessional on the podcast. Yo, where you at? Let's actually get him on here. Send him an invite. Also, yeah, if asking questions not your thing and you don't want to, use the hashtag and be kind of like, social media savvy, just let us know, what you thought of the two events, your reactions to NXT TakeOver Phoenix and Royal Rumble in the chat room. Let us know your thoughts. If you got your predictions right. So the floor is just as much as yours as it is ours. Wrestling fans do have a say. I can't speak on behalf of fans that wore AEW shirts to Royal Rumble tonight, though. I have saw a few tweets on my Twitter feed that some fans were asked from WWE production staff and security to remove their shirts and put on another shirt or turn inside out. I still think that is petty of WWE. Makes seem Vince McMahon's a control freak, worried about competition that AEW may or really in this case probably will bring to the business, including WWE, because WWE is the major league in the industry. If you support a wrestling promotion and there are dozens of Bullet Club shirts, see them on TV every week and camera shots of Raw and SmackDown, then you can support the wrestling federation that you wear to the WWE event. So, and perfect. We have Cleveland join right on time, really. Kind of give him 8 minutes, and he's already here. So I will put on to him, my co-host, Cleveland, a.k.a. Black Arrow, for this Royal Rumble weekend review podcast.
A black guy showing up on time.
I mean, well, it wasn't terribly late. I'm not going to even say fashionably late. So I'll give you leeway.
Okay. You gonna let this slide? Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna let this slide like Titus O'Neil.
Well, yeah, man. Please tell me, you weren't watching Rent.
Sorry, I just had to turn up the volume just a little bit more so I can hear your voice. I did watch Rent. I watched it more than Royal Rumble. I really didn't watch both simultaneously as I thought I expected to do.
So what you're saying is you didn't really enjoy the Royal Rumble. That's what you're saying.
I did enjoy the Royal Rumble match, but I also enjoyed Rent Live a little bit more. That's another discussion for another time. I even thought about doing a podcast about that, and I know people who would be able to do it with me, but I think it might be. I don't know. I could still do it, but it would be last minute like this podcast is, so to promote a whole nother podcast. So it was a good show. It was a very good show. I lost it at the end. That's all you guys need to know. My emotions got the best of me. I never heard my voice crack like it did. So, and one of the main stars actually broke his foot. So they had to use footage from last night's final dress rehearsal. And so majorly portions of the broadcast was pre-recorded versus it being supposed to be live. And then at the end of the finale number, he had his injured foot in a boot, and they had it set up on the table so he could actually perform the last number. Brilliantly done. I never seen anything like that. So that's showbiz. Injuries happen, but the show must go on. And it went on in Jonathan Larson's memory. So
what you're saying is What you're saying is he actually broke a leg.
Yeah, no, he really did. That is a saying in showbiz, whether it's Broadway, movies, television, or music. So he actually really did break his leg, and I didn't know that. It broke a few hours before the show even started, and the show still went on. So I applaud them. I applaud Fox. All I'm gonna say is, so I don't make this a Rent Live podcast all of a sudden and make this a whole segment about it, is Fox had broadcasted the best live musical television production to date. So they have raised the bar. Your move, NBC. So, but yeah, back to Royal Rumble, so you don't get sidetracked. Wrestling and Broadway are two of my favorite things, so I can easily get sidetracked with the two. Royal Rumble weekend, how would you sum it up? I pretty much summed up mine.
How did you sum it up?
I summed it up as it was enjoyable. I had said previously it is one of the more anticipated, highly anticipated weekends that fans look forward to, no matter what fan of promotion you are in wrestling. And I think they delivered this week. Excuse me, my goodness, they delivered this weekend with from NXT Takeover to the Royal Rumble. There were some flaws, more so Royal Rumble than NXT Takeover, because those NXT Takeovers are always nearly perfect every time. But I think Royal Rumble was they knocked it out of the park, uh, per se, because it was at the baseball stadium. First time a WWE pay-per-view event had been at a baseball stadium since 2003, Sunday, March 30th, WrestleMania 19. Little history there for you.
Yeah, well, what? I'm hearing myself echo, but anywho,
Does it bother you? I wonder if I could fix that.
yeah, like I don't mind hearing my. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good now.
Okay. It's
But
like
yeah,
Verizon. Can you hear me?
uh, I I believe that this was probably one of the better Royal Rumble weekends that I've seen in a while. Um, First off, Takeover, beautiful, like just absolutely beautiful. Um, to say they only had like four matches, right?
Um, I thought something tells me that I thought they had five.
No, okay. So to start off, they had the tag team match between Undisputed
Mhm.
versus
War
uh,
Raiders.
Royal Raiders. After that, they had um was it the North American? No, no.
No,
Which one?
you know what? Actually, you actually make us feel really unprepared. Let me get it up. So let me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pull up the notes, Owen.
Yeah. Shout out to our former boss. No, I'm kidding. Um, Owen of Podcast Network. Boy, did I butcher that. His name is Sir Owen Disney, but he runs a podcast network on here on YouTube.
Yeah, pull out those notes, man. You know me. I'm the person that gives my thoughts. I'm the comedian of the group.
Hey, as advertised, get ready to laugh. This is going to be a fun um, half hour. No matter how long this show is going to be, but we're going to try to keep it half long. We're doing good so far.
Yeah, yeah. It shouldn't be too long. So let's just go through the matches, and then overall at the end, we give our opinions.
Here we go. It's trending on WWE. I don't know how they have a trending software on their website, but NXT Takeover Phoenix results in order. Um, yeah, no, it was yeah, it was five matches
Okay,
because there was a one-on-one match that was non-title. There was no champion.
okay. Oh, the Matt Riddle one. Okay.
Yes,
Um,
bro.
the only match that's the only match where I was like, and it's because I personally believe they just don't have magic in the ring. Like they don't have that spark, like it's like two porn stars that have no chemistry, doing it. It- it's just not something I would want to watch. And
So basically, the gist of what you're saying is they wouldn't make it in Brazzers.
they wouldn't. They definitely wouldn't. Like you have Matt Riddle, someone who like is a phenomenal MMA fighter, and you have someone who like thinks they're an MMA fighter. I don't. He just needs to go against other big guys. He shouldn't be going against Matt Riddle, and he's not really a good person to like fully display what Matt Riddle can do. That's just how I personally feel. Um,
Well, I mean, if you think he should go against big guys, Ryback's a big guy.
are you trying to have him killed?
you know, yeah. The real only reason why I say that I name drop him is because he might be joining AEW, and I read that online as a dirt sheet headline. I'm just like, oh no.
Well, they shouldn't do that, especially if they're gonna have CM Punk sign.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to note.
Yeah, so I wouldn't do that. That's not a good business decision. I like TNA. Anywho,
Oh,
but yeah, for the Matt Riddle match, like for what it was, for like the person that he was in the ring with, he did great, But I just think that I just want this whole Cassius Ono feud just to fade away. I don't go on to the next person.
oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you think so? You haven't digged the Matt Riddle and Cassis Ono, bro?
not like. Well, first off, I've never been a complete fan of Cassius Ono.
Mm,
I'm like, I I don't I get it, like in the indie scenes he was pretty dope. But like he in NXT, he's just like okay, like he's big and he's athletic. Nowadays that's like every other big guy now. Every other big guy can now jump. Every other big guy can it's no longer like dope to me. He has to have character, and his character to me is boring.
Do you think the match um progressed either character?
No.
Mm,
If anything, I feel like it actually decreased them.
yeah, because that's what these NXT takeovers are about. They really are whatever crop of talent that WWE has harvested from WWE Performance Center into NXT to showcase their skills in front of a large audience and a really larger viewership than other WWE shows, and it can only exclusively on the WWE network. Um, so it makes them special, and that's why it makes these takeovers so special, and it makes them work harder. I felt like yeah, I agree with you. I felt that they could have done more. I was disturbed by Ono trying to bite. I think he was Mike Tyson trying to bite Matt Riddle's toe off.
Yep.
I guess he has a foot fetish. Yeah, I was. I think it even took the commentators off guard too, because Mauro Ranallo was like, oh, like it was.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Brazzers,
I mean, that's something that you leave on the independent circuit, but I appreciate them for A for effort. That is something you would see definitely at an indie wrestling show.
well, at least he didn't put a tampon in his mouth.
Oh, you see, you kind of ruined the joke, but I'm gonna bring that up later in the Royal Rumble, one of the Royal Rumble matches. You can. kind of figure out which one. So we kind of skipped over because we had to bring up the match results for NXT Takeover Phoenix to move along here. We skipped over what could have been one of the matches of the night, the NXT Tag Team Championship match,
One
where
of the
the title
matches
changed
of
hands.
the year.
A year, yeah. No, I really do think it was, to me, as of now, it was that night. But I think when we see more takeovers, fans are going to look back and say, well, that was just really how tag team wrestling is done.
There's something about the Undisputed Era. Like, they know how to tell a freaking story. Me, I'm an old school wrestling fan.
Do they know how to? I'm sorry to cut you off, but do they know how to tell a story better than Nexus? Because it's less guys than Nexus. It's not like all the half a dozen people in Nexus, and it's the same colors, black and gold.
uh here there you go again with these comparisons.
It's not a comparison. I mean, it's really a similarity because, when they get called up to the main roster, WWE Creative might, go out of control, with that kind of a faction. They may make it a multi-man faction.
Well, one thing I don't want is for them to do what Eric Bischoff did to the NWO and just make have too many people in that group,
Yeah,
or
that was the comparison I wanted to go to.
Yeah, or over milk the group. Don't do that. Like how they're being treated right now is perfectly fine. But as far as Nexus goes, I feel like Nexus can't hold a candle to Undisputed Era. That's just how I personally feel. There's so much charisma in that group, and with Adam Cole leading it, Adam Cole's probably one of the best leaders I've ever seen. And it's of course that was he would come from leading a group like the Bullet Club, to being an excellent leader of the Undisputed Era. And he's actually one of the few people that's a part of the Bullet Club that when he gets to the main roster, I don't want him to ever do any business with AJ, Finn Balor, none of them. Just keep it Undisputed Era. Because I feel like they have together like made their own identity within the Undisputed Era. It's no longer like, oh, Adam Cole, who was like the leader of Bullet Club. It's Adam Cole, the person who like is the leader of one of the best groups right now, the Undisputed Era.
It's not just Adam Cole; it's Adam Cole, baby.
I tried not to do that.
Obviously, it's something I mark out, or I don't know why. And I didn't even know his previous work on the independent areas before NXT. So I was so new to Adam Cole, and it must be nice for his girlfriend to go sign for AEW. I guess she can give that roster over there free dental insurance. I don't know.
Shut up. But yeah, back to the match. Like I was not a fan of the real I always call these don't say that word, Cleveland. I always okay, guys, I just want to let it be known. All right, I am first off, I'm black. Second off, along with me being black, I like to say the N word a lot. I'm gonna try my best not to say it here tonight, but if it slips up, don't trip. God ain't through with me yet. All right.
God's not dead.
He's not dead. God's not dead. He's surely alive. He's living on the. But anywho,
and another thing, I saw a black screen tonight. It was on the Royal Rumble.
Yes, I saw one too. But anywho, I was not a fan of them beating the Undisputed Era. Because I told you this last week. I don't feel like they really need to win a title, like to solidify themselves. They're already batshit big. The could do like some of the most outrageous moves I've ever seen, and their creativity as far as tag team moves is unbelievable. They don't need to win no titles. You want to know who do needs to keep the titles? Undisputed Era.
Do you know which team needs to win tag titles?
What team?
The Revival.
Come on, we'll get to Devin. We'll get to the main roster in a little bit. See,
Um,
this is the shit that Owen is talking about.
well, I may have the no, I'm not gonna even say it.
What?
No, I even caught myself. No, but so you did not think that it was good idea to take the belts off Undisputed Era?
No, no, I did not think it was a good idea at all, because one thing that is making the Undisputed Era, as far as the tag team, like so great, is the fact that they go against these tag teams that there's no doubt they should lose, but they know how to. But they have so much, like they have so much like of that it factor when it comes to like like being a team. They have so much charisma with each other. What's the word? What's the word? Ah, when two people just have a bond with each other in the ring.
Chemistry.
Chemistry. There we go. They have so much chemistry that they can outlast like any challenge, and that's what they should have had. They should have had happen on the takeover. But I get it. Like the War Raiders, they're a good attraction right now, and they're hip, they're hot, they're what's popping right now. So, all right, cool, let's get them the titles. But Undisputed Era better get them back.
Undisputed Era has been in NXT. Correct me if I'm wrong. Longer than War Raiders,
But I,
because they were already well established before War Raiders came in. But War Raiders is all the rage, and they're really over. Let's not, foremention um, the or forget to mention their epic entrance.
oh yeah, I had actually
It was
sent
really kind of WrestleMania, quality.
yeah, I had actually sent what's his name? Freaking I sent one of the Undisputed Eras the tweet on Twitter saying when I
Oh,
saw
was it a Bobby Fish, Kyle Riley?
Kyle Riley, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
When I had sent him a tweet saying when I saw shields and swords, I knew niggas was about to win. But yeah.
Oh, oh.
Yeah. I was like, when I saw that, I knew it was game over. But yeah, it was definitely an epic entrance, and not taking any respect from them. They definitely have a lot of charisma as well, but I just don't feel like they have as much to prove as the Undisputed Era. The Undisputed Era already said, "Listen, we're gonna be dripping in gold," and that needs to happen.
Well, I mean, this turned out to not be Undisputed Era's night. That maybe fans of Undisputed Era, or just fans that make make fair predictions. It was going to be their night. That turned out not to be the case. But there wasn't enough. Was there any proof from War Raiders, in your eyes, some of the moves that they put out were kind of, were remarkable given their weight size.
Yeah, like I said, like
I mean,
they do.
because there's nothing to compare between War Raiders and Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery is a comedic duo, where War Raiders is all about the fight.
Which is the exact real thing I'm trying to say. That's why I keep saying, like, they don't have to prove anything. Like they don't have to like try to solidify themselves as a group, as a team, because they already have that thing about them that just like says like, okay, we mean business, don't F with us. Undisputed Era, they could, like, if they're not booked properly, they could go from being a badass team to being 3MB.
Well, I mean, maybe they can have maybe this will be a feud down the line. I wouldn't mind a good tag team feud. You don't see those a lot nowadays, between Undisputed Era and War Raiders, and they pulled out a lot of, excuse me, moves that we're not that we do not normally see. So, but overall, great match.
Yeah,
Um,
overall beautiful match.
yeah.
Out of like 1 through 10, I'd give it a 9, and I only say a
Hmm.
9 because the Undisputed Era didn't win.
Oh, well, that's higher than Dave Metzler would give it. You sure you didn't crash a bike today?
Shut up.
Shots fired. I know. So, um,
This is why everybody on Twitter blocks you.
I'm good at it. The block game is strong. So, um, but yeah, incredible way to start the show, and every NXT takeover starts hot, and this just off the charts, temperature boiled. So, um, the next match was the grudge match, and we already covered that. So now we're going to go to the fun stuff. NXT North American Championship match.
Oh my god, so beautiful. Talk talk about total nonstop action. Oh my gosh.
Oh, TNA.
No, not Tina. Uh, I can't. I will say, I first did have doubts. Like I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I was like, I don't know if this, like, yeah. I just didn't think that it would be a great match in the beginning. Because honestly, I didn't think that Johnny Gargano could have a great match for anybody who wasn't uh Tommaso Ciampa. But I was proven wrong, and I'm so glad I was proven wrong. Ricochet, of course, Ricochet is always going to be the remarkable athlete that he is. Like,
Well, yeah, actually, I'm sorry to cut you off again, but I wanted to make a point real quick. When you think about what you had just said, I almost missed my mark there. Um, in the pre-show, Zelina Vega doubted Johnny Gargano, so this match proved that he was match of the night. Why is an NXT year-end award winner for match of the year in 2018, and so he even proved her wrong. So hopefully they mentioned that on commentary, which they may have.
yeah. But yeah,
But continue.
what do you think about Ricochet?
I was a fan of his in Lucha Underground. I actually didn't know that was him under the mask until it was just known all over the internet when WWE signed him. When WWE signed Ricochet, it was sort of well, it wasn't sorta. It was a big deal. I wouldn't say at the hype when Shinsuke Nakamura, which was a game changer for NXT, but this was bound to be something cool, really cool, when they signed Ricochet. Um, as himself. I don't know if it's probably not his real name, but as himself, meaning he's unmasked. And he is. He's just literally it's almost like another Neville, when you think about it, and that's not name dropping AEW reference. That is just it's he's like the man that gravity forgot. Uh,
He's better than Neville.
mm,
He's better than
mm,
Neville.
I mean, yeah, I'll agree because both of them have been champion. Ricochet could be a true main eventer, and could hold the NXT Championship one day down the line. Just like Neville.
I actually knew
I would
about
actually like to see them go ahead in the match now.
huh?
I would actually like to see them go head to head in the match.
Like,
Neville and Ricochet
oh yeah, that oh boy,
dream match.
talk about an orgasm. Um, I actually like knew of him like when he was just Ricochet, and like he actually tried out for WWE back in the day. And rumor has it he was so damn good that they didn't sign him. They wanted to be able to use the machine to get him over, not have himself get him over. Because WWE, they were still in that we make the champion, not they make the champion.
Yeah, and that's we talked about this in a phone conversation last night. WWE's business logic in when they turn these wrestlers into brands to um, be part of their bigger brand per se. It's not really always about what they see in a person. If the fans see that, then you have to factor that in as well. Like in this fresh start, new era, it has to be 50-50 now. So if the fans see Ricochet, it goes back to Daniel Bryan, man. If they see Daniel Bryan as a world champion, that you got a storyline out of it. You had a Cinderella story come true. So if Ricochet goes down that line, just like a Finn Balor,
No,
again, fans believe in Finn Balor. You gotta give Ricochet that rocket fuel.
Ricochet is the only person I'll say this about, but I honestly want Ricochet just to go to 205 Live. And I say that because
Mm.
I hold on. I believe that there's only certain people that would bring so much attention to 205 Live, and I think Ricochet would be that person. I think Ricochet would bring 205 out of obscurity.
Mm. It would work. I just don't think some of the NXT fans would go along with it. Like it's technically, I would say, semi main roster. It's not on TV.
I mean,
So
NXT is not on TV.
no, but I'm saying like in Ricochet's case, if he would be promoted to 205 Live, it's not live TV. It's still WWE Network. Which series gets more viewership? Which series gets to know Ricochet?
But that's what I'm
Um,
saying, though. I think 205 Live, I think if Ricochet was on it, it would change. I think he would bring in that stream of viewership that 205 needs.
mm.
Because I actually playing WWE 2K. I play a lot. If anybody wants to come see me, my at name is Mister Can I Hold a Five. Um,
See you. I really thought you were just going to give your home address just now.
no, no, no. But I had actually made a rivalry between Ricochet and um freaking Leo Rush. And dude, I actually thought about it. That would be such an amazing rivalry. If those two people, if those two athletes went at it. Think about it. Think about it real quick.
I guess I can kind of see that.
That would be a rivalry that would, I like 205 has so like when I first heard about it. Oh, the cruiserweights are gonna be given a show where they could shine. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I honestly believe that if just with the right star power, they would soar. No pun intended. And I
Yeah, yeah, because when 205 Live, launched, I liked that high fly type style wrestling, but I just didn't buy it. And I think it was a star power. And I haven't watched an episode since. And I've heard good things about it. It was almost like, I know you don't like this, but it was almost like a struggling brand like Impact,
oh
and fans rallied behind it. And other critics said it's not that good. It's good, but it's not that good. And then they appoint a new general manager in this case, with Drake Maverick, Rockstar Spud from TNA. You're welcome. Um, he oversees the manager duties in 205 Live. I still haven't gotten back into it, so I don't know. Johnny Gargano, another match of the year for him.
definitely. And he's also another person I would like to go to 205 Live. Um,
Does he live up to the name Johnny Takeover? He can call himself that.
yes, 100%.
So basically, he has as many last names as John Morrison does now.
Yep.
I really think they should go against each other in a match. And this is like a Vince Russo idea. Literally, the loser just gets to the winner gets to pick the loser's last name. I like it's
wow.
like it sounds like Vince Russo idea.
Like a hair versus hair match. Like,
Yeah, something like that. This is just for like name, and then trademark it. So WWE doesn't trademark it before you do. Um, stellar match. They both defied gravity.
and oh my goodness, when Johnny Gargano started, like unlocking his Tommaso Ciampa, side where he like pulled back, the flooring, and I saw like in his face, like he must have been watching some horror films because he's got that like crazed look going for him, and it's like
Yeah,
it's working like 100%. Like
yeah, because it was a photo. It was almost like that camera. It was that money shot, as they say in the adult
oh boy,
industry.
Jesus.
It was that, like, the shot of him with this facial expression, could, you could match it with 1,000 words.
Yes, and like you could see that battle that's just been going on in his head. Like, and think about this. This storyline has been going on for over a year. Well over a year. Not even like a little bit past a year. Well over a year. Boy,
Yeah, I think Johnny Gargano is just a very more, how do I say it without
pissing.
discredit everything he's achieved? A more hyped up Daniel Bryan. Like he is the ultimate underdog, and he is overcame like Daniel Bryan. So that's why. And Sami Zayn was that spot.
Guilty.
He was that guy. So I think he's the Sami Zayn of this current roster
I don't think
in
that
a way.
comparison. I don't think that comparison takes away from Johnny Gargano. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, because, like, if we had Johnny Gargano against Sami Zayn or against Daniel Bryan, those are a couple of dream matches I want to see.
Hell yeah.
Um, so
Um,
match of the night, match of the year,
yeah.
however you
And
want to determine
hon-
this,
and honestly, that's something not taken away from Johnny Gargano, but that's something that you're always gonna get with Ricochet.
and you're always going to get it from Johnny Gargano too.
Yeah.
So it was magic.
Yeah,
Um,
I do wish that his wife could have got involved a little bit. Like,
oh, yeah, yeah, that could have added drama, but I think that would have been unnecessary drama. I think this was like supposed to be mano a mano, both best friends on the indie circuit now turned enemies, and it really seemed like it was like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn all over again, and you get magic out of those two, so it really was similar to that rivalry.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I just imagined like I you know him pulling back the flooring and she like getting involved. What are you doing? Like that little bitchy way that she gets. I hate her.
yeah.
But yeah. So what would you rate it 1 out of 10?
I would rate it a 10.
Okay, gotcha.
It was just an easy 10. And the crowd was into it. I felt the crowd was exhausted after this match, and I don't know how much energy they had left in their tanks for the semi main event, NXT Women's Championship. What a story told!
Man,
I don't think anybody expected this. Talking to you, Sam Roberts.
no, talking to you, Ashley. Yeah, well, listen, man. When I heard like so many people discredit Bianca Belair, I'm like, why? Like, why are you guys not seeing the diamond that she is? I'm like, this girl is good. This girl has it. Like, if she would,
This girl is a boss. She is the Sasha Banks of today, but tougher. And they're both athletically stacked. I mean, she has like a 6 pack.
nigga, I don't count.
I mean, I'm just like I kind of guessed it, but like
I don't.
she was born to do this. Just like Sasha Banks, born to do this. And
Uh,
and 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 what you saw in this match was that she tried. She was such an underdog, and she lived up to that role beautifully.
so beautifully.
I
Like,
I was kind of disappointed that she didn't have a special entrance. Did you expect one? Or
she's.
or or, or maybe she hasn't earned one yet.
I don't think that's her style. Like is
I
she
really think she could. I mean,
is
because like
she
you literally could have like women lined up on either side with like the lawn braids and just kind of like spin them around.
like is she like on like that type of Sasha Banks, character? Yeah. But I believe that she would back it up better than Sasha Banks.
Oh yeah, no, I can see it now. I may have kind of categorized her incorrectly, calling her when I called her a boss, Gotti.
I
Cause,
beg your pardon.
you know what I mean? Like because of all the bling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So more of a Gotti than a boss.
yeah.
But she portrays it well.
Um, this match, especially like when I saw her crack that whip
Woo!
and I saw that mark, I was like, well, there goes any naysayer that ever said that that's not real.
Yeah, yeah. Because my dad had walked in and he saw not the whip, the crack whip, but it was a couple minutes after it, and I said, "Look, she left a mark." And he's like, "How can she even like wrestle with that hair? That must have really hurt." I said, "Yeah," and she left a mark quicker than I've ever seen on any opponent, and that mark appeared out of nowhere like it was the Exorcist on Reagan. Like that was that mark though,
Yeah,
a mark of the est of
it,
NXT.
it really shows like you don't mess with a black girl's weave, people. White people, I'm talking to you. You don't mess with the black girl's weave.
Noted.
uh, but yeah, like she, like every single time, like she'll get caught, and like that sleeper hold, and she like would just fight through. I'm like, wow, this girl could really like act like.
Twice she fought through it twice.
And
Or several times.
I really thought she was gonna persevere at the end, and but when she fell back down, eat my listen. If anybody knows
Heart
me,
dropped.
they know me and my dad are not close at all. But at that point, me and my dad both cussed at the same time. We shared a moment because of Bianca Belair. Thank you, Bianca Belair.
Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Bianca. Um, yeah, no, she made it so believable. And Shayna Baszler being that woman that you just love to hate and enjoy to boo. These two told a story. And like you said to, well, I'm not gonna say who you said that to because we want to keep that under the wraps. But like you mentioned, you wish that more women would tell a story like them because now that there's this female empowerment and movement of women's wrestling at the peak, excuse me, in WWE, now you can expand on the storylines, not of those Mandy Rose and Naomi, or gosh, what was the other one? There was another one on Raw that they similar to. Oh, Alexa Bliss. That
Yeah,
wasn't a story. That was just a moment. So now you can expand on storylines when you tell it like this. So, um, 4 stars out of 5. I mean, no, 4 stars out of 5. We're doing 10. 9 stars out of 10.
yeah. This is another one where I didn't think that Baszler needed to win, but I know that they have something planned because even at the end, like you saw, like Bianca have like a smirk on her face, like something. It's not over, and I hope
We
it
actually
isn't over.
saw another woman in WWE do that similar tonight in the Royal Rumble. And I think you know who I'm talking about. And that's where we'll be going into in a bit into Royal Rumble. Um, as the time winds down here, yeah, this feud is not over. I don't think this feud's over.
All right,
And
so
Bianca Belair will have her time
yes, because she's the EST of
of
NXT.
NXT. She may not be undefeated, and that was a comical in the match. One more thing to mention is undefeated, psh, overrated, psh, like that was
That
just
was
great
yeah,
stuff.
that was beautiful.
Main event NXT Championship. I think they followed the rest of the match card pretty well for themselves.
Yeah, that match was just great, and I'm someone who doesn't usually give Aleister Black the credit that he deserves. I'll admit that, but that match was beautiful, and I'm glad that it went exactly the way that it did. Uh, I'm glad that they reenacted the match with Johnny Gargano by pulling it back. I wish more would have happened with that, and but whatever. At least it showed. Uh all the way up to the end, I loved it, and I love the spot that Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa had at the end.
Yeah, Aleister Black, obviously the fan favorite to what he hasn't been NXT champion yet, has he?
Aleister Black, yes, he has.
Oh, okay, yeah, he has. To regain the NXT Championship. But that was not the case here. Um,
Well, yeah, because he's about to embark in a new journey in the main roster, and I think he'll do just fine on the main roster. I don't see him like failing any kind of way or them missing him.
no, and they built him up quick. And he's just, an awesome. He's got an awesome gimmick that fans can get behind. Oh God, I really hope they kept the entrance music for him so far. Um, but
And they didn't cut his name and just called him Black.
no, oh man, if they do that, I tell you, never been a black world champion in WWE, and you're just gonna call someone black. That would just nail the coffin for WWE. Um, but they built him up quick. But he's not someone that anyone who says Aleister Black is just overrated. Um, just
But he works his ass off. He really does work his ass.
like anyone who said that's what I want to say. Anyone who says Aleister Black is underrated and does not work his ass off, like you said, just cancel your network account now.
You should. You really should.
Tommaso Ciampa still held on to Goldie. Really kind of the game at the top of his game. He reminds me so much of Triple H, man. He's really like a cerebral assassin of NXT when Triple H had a beard and just without the hair.
Tommaso Ciampa is the best wrestler alive right now.
Yeah.
There's no. I'm sorry. There's no other person that can hold a candle to what Tommaso Ciampa can do.
Mm-hmm. Tommaso Ciampa is still the champ.
Aaron.
I really tweeted that thinking I would have gotten like a lot of likes and retweets and even him noticed it, but not really. So NXT Championship Match, 7 stars out of 10.
And also, for those who are going to be watching the Super Bowl, there's during the halftime they're going to have a 3-on-3 tag team match with Velveteen Dream, Aleister Black, uh, Ricochet versus Gargano, Ciampa, and who's the third person? F me right in my ass. Hold on.
Adam Cole.
Baby, there you go.
Because like literally like when you said it, the match graphic just right in my face on my screen because it's one of the other trending articles
but
on
yeah,
WWE.com.
which is dope. The last time they did this was back when The Rock went against Mankind.
Yeah, that's right. I read the article right here. January 31st, 1999.
Yes.
Oh,
And
so it's almost near the 20-year anniversary. Oh. So I can't believe this was a WWF thing. It almost seems like the logo looks very WCW-ish.
no, it wasn't. I won't even try to give them that credit.
I mean I don't know if you've seen this logo. This logo really looks old school. I like it.
You never saw the WWF logo?
No, I had never seen the Halftime Heat logo, so I don't know if they updated it, for this reboot. But this is great looking. It almost seems like Raw is War.
And I really want to see like if like they could do what they did that year and basically shut down the viewership for the halftime because they all switched to NXT. Because they're about to make that they're gonna try to make that match as long as halftime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know how long halftime is because I don't know if you watch football. That's pretty long.
It is it's daring. I wonder if this seems it's an NXT match, so I don't know if this is going to be like it's halftime heat. So is the match itself going to be 30 minutes? Is this going to be pre-tape? Is this going to be live? So I think this was actually, to be honest with you, filmed at Royal Rumble Access.
Nah, I think it's gonna be live.
Really? 'Cause it says, yeah, it does say here streaming live. I just don't know where. Maybe it's a house show. I don't know. We'll see. And W Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels will call the action commentary. That's great.
I wonder.
And
I
and
wonder if
and
it's
this
also.
will be. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think it's important for the fans to know. This will be available to not only watch on WWE Network, but all mediums of WWE social media, their website, the app, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. That's cool. That's very cool.
I wonder if it's gonna be a empty arena match.
Oh, I don't know about that. At that empty arena match, as you said, I just read here it aired during the halftime of that year's Super Bowl game between the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know. I think that if this is something to promote XFL, I swear to God.
Oh
But
yeah,
I don't think it will.
I'd shoot myself in the left nut.
And don't forget, this is halftime heat, but 2020 XFL relaunch. But the last thing I'll say about halftime heat is I wanted to ask how many fans thought that they misread dirt sheet articles, and when that mobile app notification came in from WWE that halftime heat, and they thought they read Sunday night heat.
Yeah.
So halftime heat gonna be lit.
Yep.
I love WWE's website. It makes me feel very well prepared now. Just everything that we are going to talk about is trending.
Oh yeah.
Here's
So
the results right here.
forget about our mistakes in the beginning of this, guys. Just only pay attention to what happens from here on.
Yeah, here's the Royal Rumble 2019 results.
All right. Here comes the shit show.
No, nearly 10 matches, mind you, for Royal Rumble. Those counted from the kickoff show. So let's start with the kickoff show. I didn't see much of these because I was on the phone with a friend I hadn't talked to in a long time, and I just felt that was more important than the kickoff show. It's the kickoff show. So the first match, Raw Tag Team Champion Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. This was kind of impromptu versus Scott Dawson and Razor. Okay, why wasn't it Dash Wilder? Because it's basically you say they say new matchups, Cleveland, but they say basically we're going to do Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus one half of the Revival, so it's technically them two against each other again.
I didn't even watch it, so
this is just weird.
I don't know what to tell you. What I did watch was the next match.
Oh, so FTR. United States Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus the then champion Rusev.
Yeah. It's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Like I predicted it like move by move exactly what was gonna happen, and it did happen. Freaking Lana, sexy baby, gets involved. She hurts herself. Rusev must help. Rusev must help wife.
You make Rusev sound like a Russian Tarzan.
Hey, gimmick alert.
Gimmick infringement.
But yeah, so that happens. Here comes Shinsuke Nakamura because chivalry is dead, and he gives him the Ellis Kinshasa.
Yeah, no, because like Corey Graves, like that's a Corey Graves thing that he does. Just Sasha, like he just. I swear, like anyone who may have other ways to watch a WWE event or a show on TV, on the network, or even on the network, I hope you turn your volume down because Corey Graves will kill your ears when he yells Sasha.
Yeah, but yeah, it was what it was. Like, was it great? It No. Was it bad? No. It was smack dab in the middle,
Yeah,
as my people on Wrestle Talk used to say.
it was smack down in the middle.
Yeah.
um, and Shinsuke Nakamura regained the United States Championship, so we now live under the United States of Nakamura. At least his country's not government shut down. Well,
Okay.
ours reopened,
Okay.
so that joke really can't work.
Well, one, it's supposed to reopen in 3 weeks,
Oh,
and two,
oh, it did work.
I don't want to give that man in the office enough respect to even mention his name on this podcast.
I know, and I didn't.
Yeah, he could kiss my sausage for all I care.
Oh, see, I thought you were just gonna go to Bianca Belair, kiss my ass. So like,
She did.
I haven't
She
seen
said
that
that.
video, but
She said that.
yeah, I know. She actually said in a post match interview, a little back to NXT Takeover, she said to Sam Roberts, "Can kiss my ass."
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
I wish I was Sam Roberts. um,
Wow.
WWE Cruiserweight Championship Fatal 4-Way match, 205 Live.
This match was beautiful, and it sucks because the ring the crowd wasn't even full yet. So I feel sorry for anybody who missed that match because that match was freaking amazing. Uh, um, Blake, who should have won, so that was smart. There's no reason to take the belt off of him. Uh, there were so many spots that could only happen with the cruiserweight division, which I love. Like, that's something that the cruiserweight division has been doing, and it's great. Have spots that you will only see with 205 Live.
And just like I had never really seen a full episode of 205 Live, I did not see this match.
Asshole.
Was that after a commercial jingle?
Yes, very much so.
Yahoo! Oh God. Um. Now wait a minute. The order that they have this in the pay-per-view event did not start this way. SmackDown Women's Championship match. Oh no, it did. It's in the right order. Never mind.
Yes.
SmackDown Women's Championship match.
You did. Oh yeah, you didn't watch the match, so you couldn't give your thoughts on it.
No, no, I did. I saw the first hour because Rent Live didn't start until 8.
Once again, Aaron, this rent thing.
So I saw the two matches. I'm just telling you.
Could you hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Aaron.
Okay. I'm not sure what I am holding for, but oh, he muted his mic. I could have done that for him.
Oh, yeah, man. I had to deal with some prior engagements. Um,
Well, I literally thought you just pulled an EC3 because you just became a mute.
no, no Helen Keller over here. Uh,
It's so funny. Right when you mute, we get down to 0 viewers.
oh wow. To be honest, I didn't even know we were being viewed. I thought
Well, we are being viewed, but it's not our nudes.
okay.
We're not Tony Storm. We actually have our iClouds on security.
So that's funny.
you know, um, it was just a spur in the moment. Spur of the moment.
So I really hope one day nothing but nudes of you go go and I'm definitely gonna retweet it too. I will retweet it, Aaron. I will.
He'll tweet that to WikiLeaks.
Nah, it's going straight to the hub, baby. Straight to the hub.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, Pornhub and TMZ, all that.
That's right.
Um, yeah. Did Asuka and Becky? I feel like Asuka and Becky Lynch tried to tell a story.
Okay.
Like, like right when they got into the ring, they had that little face off.
Here's the thing about like Asuka and Becky. That's another one. Like two people who I just don't really think match. Like they just don't do it for me. Yeah, they don't. They just don't get my rocks off together. Uh with other people they do, just not with each other. I don't know if you feel the same, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, their chemistry does not match to Becky and Charlotte.
Definitely not. But I was happy that Oscar won, and
Expected.
especially with the submission move that she gave. I don't know what the hell it was. Don't ask me. It was like the Oscar lock with a bridge, if that's what we're gonna call it. Uh, but anyways, it was beautiful, and she won in a convincing fashion. She didn't need to cheat, like she was doing at the end of her NXT run, which nobody wanted to note. Uh she was doing her thing, and I loved it. But as far as the match goes, they just don't have the best chemistry, and I'd rather never see them again fighting each other.
So yeah, this may have been a one-off match. And predicted winner won. Look at Becky Lynch's face, though. You knew that the man will come back around, and she did.
That's right.
So I thought the story of Becky Lynch's night that she would have um, definitely was told on her face. SmackDown Tag Team Championship match.
Real quick, the what I loved about the women's match was that it's almost as if, yes, we were, Oscar was a champion in this match and we had another person in this match, but ultimately it was really Becky against Becky, and like the story was being told by Becky for Becky. And I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, Becky Asuka was just in Becky Lynch's way.
Yes.
So, this match, I guess we'll just give 6 stars.
Which one?
SmackDown Women's Title.
Yeah, if from 1 out of 10, I would say about six, seven the most. Just
Because
because.
I think that's more than fair. Given the fact that one spot off the apron was very, oof, it was sickening.
Oh my goodness, they
That the
definitely.
thud.
Continue.
The fall that they took. Yeah, the SmackDown Tag Team titles bout.
Uh, it was definitely good for what it was. Like I expected Shane and Miz to win. Um, this was another match that story was involved, and like it was a pretty heartfelt one, if I do say so myself. Especially since my dad doesn't love me. But yeah, like them like becoming a team. Shane and Miz was great. Like it was heartfelt, and like Shane, I do wish there was an announcement table spot. But I guess Shane he takes a lot of bumps for us. We can't like ask him to like kill himself off. He's getting really old.
I saw, and I don't know what's been my fascination to relive his dozen moments and match highlights with Kane, 2004, 2005.
A great
Uh,
time to be alive.
Yo, yeah. Um, I saw one tweet from the Wrestling Mag Twitter dirt sheet. It was really funny. They tweet said, "Please don't jump off Chase Field." Chase. Because this baseball for a baseball field, it was really they really constructed it tall. It's very tall.
Oh yeah.
I wish Orlando doesn't have one of those. We don't even have a dome either. But
Um.
we have the Camping World Stadium.
Hey,
Um.
but we do have one pulse.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
Wow. You support that, but you don't support Red Line. Okay, but anyway,
Oh boy.
that was such a drill. Um, this match, I just, yeah, I mean, I'll give it a 5. And reason why I give it a 5 is it had such a long term storyline for the payout for them to become tag team champions. Over almost 2 months, we had to sit through. Will you be my partner? Oh, you will. Oh, you won't do it. Will you be my partner? So that's why I determined that star rating.
It was like
And I
watching.
don't even know if that was even true what Miz said about his father. So I was kind of awkward.
Okay, let's not act like we don't know what a work is. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was hoping it wasn't gonna be true. So, um, but I'll give it a 5, and I would have given it a 4, but the reason why I gave it a 5 is that um that breathtaking shooting star press
Oh
from
my
Channel
gosh. Did I jizz my pants when I saw that?
at his age.
It's like I really need to get on the diet that he's on. If that's what he can do at his age, oh boy. His kids don't stand a chance.
No chance in hell.
Oh, shut up. Um
Quick tonight.
I'll give it like a 5, but the only reason why is not because the match was lackluster or whatever, because it was what I would expect from a match that involved Shane. Like it's just what it was. But the reason why I give it what it is because I would rather I just want to get this whole Miz versus Daniel Bryan thing back on the road.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Raw Women's Championship match: Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks. Now, I did. This is the match I missed because as they entered the ring introduction started. Rent Live just had to start. I was disappointed. I wanted to see this match. I don't know if I missed much. You could tell me.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, you missed it. This was a great match.
Oh, good.
it was a pretty dope match.
Then the training Sasha Banks did with Charlotte at the Performance Center here in Orlando, and with I think isn't her cousin, is Maze Red her cousin, or just a friend of her family?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so I don't know the relation between her and Amazing Red, but at House of Glory in New York, she trained with those two. So the training looked like it paid off with this match. It was one of her more important matches in her career.
Like it wasn't a match where like what you typically see with a Ronda Rousey match, where like Ronda's just like ruling them the whole match, even if like the other person got a couple of hits in. Ultimately, it just feels like a Ronda Rousey match. It wasn't like that. It was very even across the board. Sasha definitely kept up with Ronda, and at sometimes she surpassed Ronda. Uh but you know, Ronda, she's just a freak athlete. Like I really didn't want to be able to say this about her. I wanted to be able to say that she was another MMA fighter that couldn't hang in the WWE. That's what I wanted to be able to say. But Ronda, she just she's got it. Uh it became a submission battle at one point where it was submission versus submission. And I was like, I am loving this, you know, like a fat kid at McDonald's. Um, but yeah, like it was definitely a breath of fresh air for like all the squash matches I've watched with Ronda Rousey. It was definitely a good choice to have Sasha Banks go against her.
And after this match, we actually have to get to we've been we've been not as we haven't been the role model hosts as we should have been. There are some comments um, in the chat room, but it is Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey. I can't provide a star rating, but I think it sounds like it's a match I need to go back and watch. So,
Definitely.
what would your star rating be?
Uh Real quick, I want to hear these questions. Come on now. I'm
They're
already
not questions; they're just comments.
okay. What were the comments?
No, give me your star rating first, and then I'll go into like remind people to use the hashtag for the questions. And I'll go right into the comments.
Okay. I would say it was an 8. It was definitely an 8. And like at the end like Sasha Banks went up to Ronda Rousey because this is the only thing that's been aggravating me. Like Ronda Rousey, just become that badass. Like stop smiling with people. I don't want to see you do that. Become that badass that we know you can be. She like tried to shake hands with Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks at first, you know, accepted it, but then she went up back up to her and she put up the 4. So, you know, that got me a little hard. I was like, okay, okay. Are we gonna set this up? Is it gonna be the 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen? What are we doing? So that's something that we have to look forward to.
And hopefully she doesn't like stutter on her promos anymore. I know I'm the baddest, and you know.
See, but I'll cut her some slack. Like
I know, but she's been on the mic for a while now, so
Ronda, she's just very
because
passionate.
remember she debuted at last year's Rumble,
Yeah,
so she's been in the company for a year. So you'd think she wouldn't make mistakes like that. I don't know. Maybe I am too harsh. So um, yes, now the to the chat. And remember to use the hashtag RRWR to ask us questions on Twitter. Kind of be pointless to use it in the chat room, but at least in our Twitter accounts, which you can find in the video description below. Ask us any WWE NXT personal related questions, as long as they're appropriate. And
No, you can ask me any question you want.
okay, that's his discretion.
I
Uh,
want all the smoke.
and you know, our RWR, like I said, it's not like a new wrestling promotion. I don't know. It could be Real Rednecks Wrestling Rebels. So it could be whatever you want it to be. But in the chat room, we had Jeremy Mills, a fan of Podcast Networks, um, to stopped in to say hello. So hello, Jeremy. I'm not sure. Do we still? Oh yeah, we still have 0 viewers. So I think they went to bed. So Jeremy Mills said hello. Podcast Network actually said hello to Jeremy. And we all know who runs Podcast Network. We mentioned his name earlier.
Vince McMahon.
He actually said former boss, LMAO. Oh no, our podcast network contracts are terminated. And HHN Dog, Will. Oh wow, Will. Good evening, gentlemen. Screw Maroon 5. Watch the 6-man tag match.
Yeah.
And he actually even spelled their band name wrong, Maroon 5, but then he corrected himself, Maroon. Oh man, funny comments from our
Yeah, I'm definitely
viewers.
going to be watching that match over the halftime show because I don't know if you know this. You know, this is just a quick rabbit trail, but I don't know if you know this. But a lot of rappers actually turned down performing at the halftime show because of protests for Colin Kaepernick.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
Cardi B was one of them.
yeah, she turned it down. She said, "I will not work for you. I will not do a halftime show unless you guys hire back Colin Kaepernick." So I'm not supporting them at all. I will be watching that show very closely.
Mm-hmm. Um, and I watch it as close as well. I've taken that day off from work because Super Bowl is a national holiday. Do not at me.
And Florida, yes, it is.
It is 1:30. But this is my podcast show. This was supposed to be the end time, whether we started at 11:30. I actually extended it from 1 o'clock if we had started at 11:30, had Royal Rumble had not overrun, and then now switched it to 1:30 because the 30-minute later start time, 12 o'clock. So we are going to continue. It's like this match is going to restart. We are going to continue as we go through.
My God, they're gonna continue the match.
Oh my God, JR! I didn't know they were going. That was Jerry Lawler. I don't know what I was going to say. I thought it was going to be Jimmy Hart. I think it was a Jimmy Hart impression more than anything. But because we have 4 matches at two, no 3. I can't even count anymore. 4 matches. I was right. 4 matches to go, and we are still on the air. So YouTube didn't like cut us out or anything. There's no William Regal at the YouTube headquarters. Take it off the bloody air. So the Women's Royal Rumble match. I saw bits and pieces of this because I was tuning in and out during the commercial breaks from Rent Live.
Um, it basically became like a who could outdo Kofi Kingston. You know, like let's have all these close calls, and come back into the ring. They actually had the winner of the American Ninja on the freaking Royal Rumble. And like she was freaking amazing.
Is that like one woman that I just couldn't fit? That's probably the one woman I couldn't even figure out. Like, who is that? And like the one other woman that I could figure out was Johnny Gargano's wife, Candice LeRae. But this other woman, I was just like, who is that? Is that a performance center call up? And like, not even one from like screw NXT. We're just gonna pull someone from the performance center. So, do you think that was just like to get a headline in TMZ and Sports Illustrated and ESPN?
I don't know. Like she was doing so good. I wouldn't be upset if she actually like was
It
in the
threw me off.
division. Like, dude, like she was killing it. I'm like, wow, good for you.
Huh. Um, I have to say this. Lacey Evans, when I got nervous when she had pulled out what was a handkerchief out of her tights and used it on her opponent. I really did not want to be a tampon.
Yeah, I was
I was like, whoa, whoa.
I really I had a feeling it wasn't gonna be that. I was like, nah,
I
they would
know, but it was very very identical almost.
that wouldn't be ladylike, for her to do.
No, no, not at all. Um, Maria, obviously, whether she requested a release or not, or they unapproved it, she appeared in the Rumble.
Uh the word on the grass is she never wanted to leave. It was her husband, and
Oh,
she actually voiced it. Saying that's
oh yeah,
just to go.
I did read that one Instagram post she posted.
Yeah, she said just to go on record, I never said that I wanted to leave, and I think she was actually quite entertaining. Like I haven't watched TNA or any of those C-list shows to know
Mm.
to know like about her new persona, but it was actually quite entertaining. Her and Alicia Fox bantering back at each other, back and forth.
Well, Maria Canales has improved her in skills over the years. Now, Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys. I guess they all look alike, huh?
Alicia Fox. Boy, it is late. Alicia Fox, long weekend. Alicia Fox. I'm not sure if it was. I just not sure what the look she tried to go for. I don't know if she was trying to be a Tina Turner or I don't get it with the hairs and hats anymore. Like I just honestly like I don't know how she still is like gets on TV. Um that's not trying to like offend her. It's just WWE has nothing for her. Um and there was one point in the I gotta tell you, I ain't lying. Um that I really thought that the Riot Squad just made the match such a cluster because they would go in and out of the ring if and I couldn't tell like if Sonya Deville or no, not Sonya Deville, Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan were eliminated or not because they would power bomb Candice LeRae and other participants onto the apron, the security barrier, and then Ruby Riot's in the match in the ring, do her thing, and then she gets eliminated, thrown over the top rope, and I come back after a dinner, um, and I did not realize when I came back to my laptop, it had somehow stayed onto those parts of the match. So when I came back, when I returned from the kitchen, watched a little bit of Rent Live, I said to myself, why are they still outside the ring power bombing women? Why is Ruby Riott coming back out? She was eliminated. And then I looked at the little graphic on the screen to say go live on on my laptop,
Wow.
and then it went to live time. Like it was, I actually got pissed. Like I got pissed in that moment. Um,
Yeah.
I should have Nia Jax lasted long as she did.
For what happened later,
Oh, sure.
for what happened later, I was very pleased. I was very, very,
I
very,
mean,
very,
it's Nia Jax, so she might be the first woman to have the most eliminations in a Royal Rumble match one year.
yeah. Ultimately, like it was great. Both like right now, only speaking for the women's, but the men's as well because they didn't they didn't turn it into look who still got it back from the 1990s Royal Rumble. It's like, okay, we have a lot of talent right now. Let's use them and put them on the forefront. There wasn't a lot of legends. It was just straight, young talent getting it in. And it was amazing to watch.
Um, I did not understand the Hornswoggle cameo in the Women's Royal Rumble. I think they just had to put him in either of the Royal Rumble matches because he made an appearance in the All Men's uh, 40 Royal Rumble man match and Grace Royal Rumble. Um, and he looked wider and he had longer hair.
He looked like a pervert.
I feel I feel like when he ran, it was like one of the funniest things. Um,
Like while I was watching it, I had looked at my wife and I said, "Picture that being R. Kelly."
trapped under the rain.
I was like, if that was R. Kelly, this would not be funny.
And he ran after Zelina Vega. That's Aleister Black's girl, man. So it was just, was he even an entry? Was he an
Nope.
entry? Oh my god, why did he even show? Okay, I'm not gonna even. It's definitely logic. So it's just one of those logical ideas I don't even try to analyze.
Yep. Like I said, if it was R. Kelly, just keeping it in the Aleister Black line, she probably would have faded to yellow. That's a P joke.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Um, I don't know how to continue on from that. Becky Lynch. So she was reintroduced in a interesting way. I thought it was ironic that she gets into a screaming match with Finley. So you just have two Irish people yelling at each other. Hey, you don't do that. You don't do that. Well, that sounded like fucking German. But excuse my French. But I need to get my accents right. I work at a theme park. You think my accents would be on point? And then Becky Lynch, they exchange back and forth, and then he's like, "All right, oh, go in there, go in there." And then she entered herself into the Royal Rumble match, and we saw where that led. Why don't you cover the last few moments of the match that you can remember?
Uh, well, it was Charlotte.
Because it got intense when it got down to just her and Charlotte. because a lot of fans in the crowd were just like, "Oh man, if Nia Jax wins, she's like the female version of Roman Reigns, or shove down our throats. We're gonna riot." And then everyone's gonna put their AEW shirts back on and say, "Take them off of us, security." But it got, it was Becky and Charlotte. That was brilliant. That was actually smart booking to have it down to them two.
Yeah, like Charlotte was getting, and I love when Charlotte gets like this, like real ruthless. You know, like she just gonna f shit up. Like she continuously went after Becky's leg, um, and she just kept going after it until the point where Becky was outside of the ring, and they were thinking about calling it, like a proper ref should. Um, but she said, I'm not going to let you take this away from me. I'm not going to let you do this to me anymore. I'm not going to let you do this to me anymore. Really emotional, really emotional. And she came in, and the beating once again was going on with her leg. Charlotte was getting really aggressive. Love it. Uh, but ultimately ended up with Charlotte going over the top rope, and everybody was happy. There was peace brought to the motherland, and all was right with the world.
Yeah, now Becky Lynch goes to WrestleMania. She said to Kathy Kelly on the probably press box level of Chase Field Stadium. Um, I don't even know what to call it, a field or a stadium, but it works. Um, on WWE Now, which was streamed live on YouTube, it was a half-hour interview. I told you about this on the phone. It was yesterday, and she did not know how she was going to go to WrestleMania. Um, if she goes through Asuka or did not go through Asuka, but she said it would happen, and she stayed true to her word. And it just adds to her character and the hardship that she has gone through to get to this point in her career in the main roster. From an Irish jolly rookie in NXT to straight fire before she got called to the main roster, and now the man. Um, WrestleMania is now WrestleMania.
Okay, you got one more. You got one more.
Okay. I'll redeem myself. It is the year of the man.
Okay, yes, I will take that. Becky, like,
Good for her. She gets to point at a WrestleMania sign on a video screen.
that's right.
No pyro. No pyro.
Nah, they stopped doing that.
Yeah.
But it's well deserved. I I'm just a little bit selfish because I don't want her to go to Raw. I want her to stay on SmackDown.
I think if she ever did drafted Raw, um, they would their creative team would know to book her the way SmackDown Live has.
Oh, she's going to Raw because she's going against Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to Raw.
Yeah, so now it's interesting to see how they handle her character's direction. And have I can't wait for the face-offs between her and Becky. Her and Ronda. I almost called Ronda Brenda.
Wow.
I need sleep. Um, and oh
Yeah.
boy, we got 3 more matches. I feel like the referee I should just like call an X. Um, but we've actually done pretty well for us because this is how usually long it does take, especially like when you review two events, and they're always about 2 hours.
Yeah.
WWE Championship match, Daniel Bryan, the champion, who wasted a Royal Rumble burger on kickoff show, which I thought was hilarious because it took me back to the skit with Andy Samberg, Lonely Island on SNL, where he threw it on the ground. So, um, and he faced AJ Styles.
Well, granted, people need to first understand the Burger King decided that they was gonna come out with this dope burger, and honestly, how do you even eat it? It looks so strange. But um, they had sent, like, oh, what the official WrestleMania burger is gonna be, and Daniel Bryan got upset. Rightfully so. He's a vegan after all. And
What was that?
I don't know. That's how vegans sound because they're hungry. But anyways, he got upset, and he said like, oh, they should be ashamed of themselves. And Burger King, thinking that this was just like a work, like him just being his character, because I guess they never watched the episode of Total Divas. Um, they they was like, got to give the people what they want, and Daniel Bryan got furious. So yeah, Daniel Bryan, and he's not a fan of the Royal Rumble burger.
I guess he did not have it his way.
I thought we were done. Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, whatever I just said, I made you drop pans.
Made me drop what?
Sound like ECW over there is pans.
Oh, I thought you said my pants.
No, no, I'm not R. Kelly.
Hey, you can't make those jokes.
um, I didn't see. I saw a minority of his match. Uh,
Um, it was pretty good.
yeah, I mean, what else would you expect from AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, like no letdowns, like no over, like go not no like oversell. It was good. Good, like pretty much. I'd give it a 7. Um, Daniel Bryan, of course, won, and he won with the help of Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan came out in his what seems to
Now I
be
saw
his.
that. I thought that was just so random.
I see they're trying to do like some secret society thing. Shout out to CM Punk. Uh,
Oh no! Oh
CM
no!
Punk's gonna be back at WrestleMania. Uh,
Do not encourage them.
I swear, like any single time, like something's like a little bit remote happens that can involve CM Punk. That's it. He's coming back.
Yeah. See you at Mania.
But yeah, like Rowan came out and he was in his vegan gear, and and he gave he gave AJ Styles a good slam, which put Daniel Bryan over, and Daniel Bryan won the match. Now, I think Eric Rowan is gonna do good in the newly found position that he has, but I'm really wondering what's next for AJ.
Mm.
All right, because if we're following what they said, there's no rematches. So if there's no rematches, that means that's it. No matter what happened. So if that's the case, what's gonna happen with AJ?
We will have to see in the weeks ahead on SmackDown Live. Surely you're going to have AJ Styles on your card at WrestleMania.
Shoot, if you ask me, I would call up the good old boys, the Good Brothers.
Mm.
But
Oh yeah, and have
finally
faction versus faction in this case.
have them go against Sanity.
Oh,
Because let's be honest, what has Sanity done?
more in NXT than they've done on the main roster.
Exactly. Like they did in their debut match, they lost. Let me repeat: in their debut match, they lost.
Yeah, that was started out on a bad note.
So yeah, like give them some legitimacy. Let them go against like a legitimate team.
Um, Universal semi-main event, Universal Championship match. The champion Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor.
Yeah,
I would have said the Demon, but
normal Finn Balor, basic bitch Finn Balor.
Do you believe in me? I don't think you believe in me.
I don't know what accent that was. I don't believe in that.
I don't know either. I think it was Canadian and Irish. Um,
But
I like how they cross over into each other. Um, I, I, uh, I saw this match the last hour of Rent Live, and I was like, oh man, this is going to go at midnight. This is going to go to midnight, isn't it? Because this match started around 10:30. At that point, I didn't even care. um, but by the end result, guess they don't believe in Finn Balor, or maybe it was just a mismatch. It was David versus Goliath, and David, you know, reigned supreme over Goliath.
well, I was impressed on how like they had Finn Balor like working Brock Lesnar. Like he was doing pretty good. And somewhere along the match, when he was on the ground and Brock Lesnar went to pick him up, he gave him a little kick to his soldiers. And from that point on, Brock Lesnar wasn't walking the same the whole match. Um, which I mean, fellas, when you get kicked in the nuts, you can't do shit. But Brock Lesnar whooped his ass, and after the end of the match, he whooped his ass some more, which I think that was just out of frustration from getting kicked in the nuts. Um, but yeah, like I don't think it's over. I do not think it's over. Um, I think that we are gonna get that Demon versus Beast match. Uh, I hope it happens immediately afterwards, but once again, no rematches, so Lord knows what's gonna happen with that. Because who else is gonna go against Brock Lesnar right now? They're not gonna put him in the elimination chamber.
Beast in the chamber. You could really market that though.
Yeah, but they won't do it.
Mm-mm. Just hear Michael Cole. You think my puns are bad? Just hear Michael on commentary now. Beast in the chamber. Um, your star rating? I can't give.
A 6.
Hmm. I think that's being too nice.
It is, but I did appreciate that they actually had Finn Balor show some heart. He did like 3 tope suicidos outside.
Well, yeah.
They made him at least show some heart. All right, so men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, now we're at the main event. I don't know. I don't know why this podcast feels like it's been like 4 hours long, 6 hours long, like this pay per view, like Royal Rumble, but 7. I mean, um, the men's Royal Rumble match. I'm glad the surprise entrants were who they were, because I was not feeling. I did not feel the names that were spoilers over the weekend. Ty Dillinger, okay. Big Show, okay. I mean, like how dirt sheets covered their name, gave them names titled as surprise entrants. Those were just like surprise they still work here. So number 3 is really just like usually the first surprise entrant. And because that's where AJ Styles entered in as number 3, I think number 3, or yeah, number 3. And when he debuted, so number 2, it was only fitting to have. Ain't this was great? You had Jeff Jarrett come out number 2. May I mention founder of TNA
Yep,
enter
and just like what happened to him is exactly what happened with TNA.
2. Oh, just like Braun Strowman says, "Get these hands." You're gonna get these words, like. um, but that was a good surprise. A WWE Hall of Famer that can be medically cleared and still competes in the ring.
And luckily, that was the only one. As after that,
Well, not the only Hall of Famer, but yeah, no, you are right. It did lack of, well, the past couple of years have kind of lacked of surprise entrance in Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
They really kind of have. The last legit surprise, even though everyone expected it, but generally people were surprised that he actually did appear, was AJ Styles. But the rumors were false. Kenny Omega did not show up.
I knew he wasn't.
No. That video I even seen that you had sent me is funny.
Yeah.
The Kurt Angle, he was another Hall of Famer. Looked
Oh
good in
yeah,
there.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Like you just forget about him.
Oh man, he's a legend, but it's like, oh well, we already celebrated his Hall of Fame, induction. Why continue? That was a good storybook ending.
But yeah, like I was talking to my friend, like, and each time there was like a set of wrestlers in the ring, I'm like, we have literally all former NXT stars in the ring right now, and I was like, this is great. Like, this is a very youthful Royal Rumble, and why didn't WWE think of this sooner? I don't know. Like, how do we give proper opportunities? Huh. I got it. I freaking got it. Let's put all of our young up and coming talent in the Royal Rumble. I am a smart man. I am a smart man. I thought,
Booking 101.
yeah. I was hoping Mustafa Ali was gonna win. I promise you I was. I wasn't hoping. I was hoping against that the whole John Cena being injured thing wasn't working, that he was going to be there. I was not for that. Um, I did not get happy when I heard Braun Strowman was going to be there. Uh, Only because Braun Strowman is like a cop out at this point. Like Braun Strowman is quickly becoming Roman Reigns, and I don't like it. I used to enjoy Braun Strowman. Now it's like, okay, we get it. All right, he's big, he's fast, he's athletic. He's big, he's fast, and he's athletic. But he's also very annoying to see every week. Uh, so I was upset when I heard that. I was upset.
That's actually interesting to say that. Like, from one name that you shoved down people's throats for 15 plus years to another name, because he was John Cena's replacement, so we cannot see him. It almost felt like, so the reason why you took him out of the Universal title match was, and they gave a reason. It was on Raw. Like, he destroyed Vince McMahon's vehicle and tore the car door off of his limo. But it's just he was still on the show, so, and he was medically cleared and he competed in the Royal Rumble match. So why did you not put him in the Universal title match with Brock Lesnar? The reason maybe behind it was Brock Lesnar's too stiff. I mean, we've seen Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman go at it at Royal Rumble last year, and Brock Lesnar, literally told Braun Strowman to calm down, and he really punched him right in the face. So, I don't know. I think, good thing Brock Lesnar, if it looked like it, because I didn't see that match either, um, took it easy on Finn Balor because he's half of Braun Strowman's size. But I don't know. It was an odd replacement.
Brock Lesnar respected Finn Balor in that match.
Oh, good.
Like you can tell there was a level of respect there for Finn Balor. But Braun Strowman, like, he just too. He doesn't have that championship swag yet, if that makes sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't have that demeanor that says, you know what, I could see him as a champion. He doesn't have that. Like Drew McIntyre, he bathes in that swagger. That is him. Um, I was gonna say Bobby, but he doesn't have it if he doesn't have Lilo Rush. Lilo Rush solidifies him. One thing I got upset about, because I didn't mind that Seth Rollins one. I did not mind, but I didn't like how they tried to Roman Reigns him. Like I feel like compare like anything bad is compared to Roman Reigns. I'm so sorry, but
The
they
dude has
had
cancer, man.
listen. I'm talking about
I
Roman.
know.
Okay, I'm not talking. Yeah, but like they put Bobby Lashley put Seth through the announce table, and I'm like, okay, this is starting to look too familiar. Like I'm like, if they bring him to the back and he comes back at the end of the match and wins, I'm gonna be so upset. But they had him come back in shortly after and start working again, which I was like, okay, now I can dig this. He's actually fighting for his spot. And Dolph Ziggler came in. He put up one hell of a fight. And it was between Dolph Ziggler, Seth, and Braun Holman. Um, and
It
I
should be
swear,
Braun Strowman. Come on, man. Like, you gotta give the guy some credit. He got medically cleared to compete in the Royal Rumble. That means he can compete at WrestleMania in whatever capacity they put him in.
nah, I call him Holman because of it's an insider. Anywho, uh,
Oh. Oh.
yeah, uh, yeah, never mind.
Oh.
Anywho, uh, Braun Strowman, he eliminated frickin' Dolph Ziggler. Seth Rollins was still able to hold on, and Seth Rollins ended up curb stomping, a beautiful move, curb stomping Braun Strowman to the side, at the side of the outside the ropes at the side of the ring, on the hardest part of the ring, and Braun Strowman fell out, and all was right with the world. And it seems like for right now, it's going to be Brock versus Seth Rollins for the title at WrestleMania.
New matchups, they said.
Unless he goes for SmackDown.
Oh, where he decide like, okay, does he have to go against Brock Lesnar because it's his represented brand's champion, or can he go to SmackDown Live? Or is it because
He
it's not
can
a
go to
brand split
SmackDown Live.
anymore? He can go to SmackDown Live, or is he a free agent like John Cena?
It's always been like that, man.
But it's not a brand split anymore. These are co-branded pay-per-views. They're not really seen as separate brands. I mean, they are, but it's not a brand split.
Well, yeah.
They basically ended the brand split again, say, oh, the pay-per-views are going to be co-brand. They're not going to be their own pay-per-views, which I really wish they still did the own pay-per-views again because, yeah, it was more pay-per-views, but SmackDown Live would consistently put on better pay-per-views than Raws.
Well, if
So maybe it made the product suffer.
if Becky can go against Ronda, Seth Rollins can go against. Well, right now would be Daniel Bryan. Which would be a pretty dope match. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. When Brett and I went off the air, I was able to watch the majority of the Royal Rumble match. So I was grateful for that. That was the only good thing that came out of them to go into overtime. I did not like, however, I think I walked out of the room a couple times. That just Nia Jax came into this match. That just made no sense to me. She's how do I put it this way without sounding like a dick? She is not for her fans. She is not a China. She is not a Beth Phoenix. Why do you give her why do you give her this historic moment? Just why? Like
Let's be honest.
you want to talk about someone who's Roman Reigns?
Let's be honest. This moment was WWE's one and only chance to beat up a girl on TV. When I saw
It was fairly played.
I'm not like, for any feminists that ever hear this, I'm not condoning women abuse. I'm not. By no means am I. But when I saw
Chris Brown
her,
might, but
when I saw, oh my gosh, when I saw her get super kicked, 619 into a RKO, I threw my phone and laughing. I was like, wow, this is great TV.
yeah. Only on the W Network you can see something like that.
Now, was I a little bit aggravated because Ron Killings didn't really get to do his thing? I was very upset.
Yeah. Because it was a waste of a spot in my eyes.
So it's like basically you just said like that whole mixed match thing was just a joke. Yeah.
I mean, it's still it doesn't like it doesn't like conflict us to wonder where Carmella and R-Truth are going to go from here. But I still think they're going to be an item.
And they should.
Because the dance break, I love it. There's some fans that are just annoyed by that, but I like it. It's a comedic duo. Like they're basically the mixed tag version. If Heavy Machinery was a mixed tag team, they're the comedic duo of SmackDown Live, and it's good to have comedy in wrestling. There's not much comedy in WWE. There's just a lot of stupidity.
Yeah.
And so then, it would come down to it was Seth Rollins and I saw the last moment of this match. I want to try to get myself to remember.
I told you it was Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, and Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, Dolph Ziggler.
Yep.
Wow, so they must have seen his video interview where he said he was interested in AEW.
Isn't it funny that if you're a person who has talent on WWE, if you threaten to leave, you get TV time.
Yeah, it's really hilarious how that works. Instead of how dare you talk about competition on the video? Oh no, we understand your frustration. We're gonna keep you in the top 3 tonight. So it's just like Vince McMahon just looked at Dolph and called him into his Dolphy, I don't want to lose you. So the Khan family can sign you to a contract. You're gonna be a top 3. Yeah.
Honestly,
So
honestly,
wow, top 3.
I would not mind if R-Truth went to AEW.
Gosh, he would be the world black champion that we need in WWE. He was one in NWA TNA, so people do not remember this whole R-Truth, and he carried the same gimmick from there to where he is now.
R-Truth had one of the most sickest promos on television history in TNA.
He was underrated in TNA.
Yep, because if you're black and you can dance, you're automatically going to be a thug. Or as MVP said, a nigga.
Oh my god, the infamous promo. And then Seth Rollins. What? Seth Rollins. I just don't know how I feel about that.
You don't know how you feel about Seth Rollins?
As Royal Rumble winner, no. I mean, he's achieved a lot. I think the thing with Royal Rumble is how they determine the winner every single year is this. People who have achieved and have an extensive resume when they are now called up to the main roster from NXT. There are a lot of championship accolades and reigns Rollins has had as a tag team champion, as an Intercontinental champion, as a world champion, as undisputed champion. So, just to give an insight on his past of successes, that's why he won. I feel like that's how they determine the Royal Rumble winners. Shinsuke Nakamura hadn't won much gold in main roster last year, and he won. And that it to put that in perspective for a quick second, it's crazy that he is main event of Royal Rumble last year. Now he's the kickoff show and became the United States champion once again.
Yep.
But at least it keeps him relevant. That's what I wanted to say earlier, that he is United States champion 2-time. But I feel like on every other year, that is how they choose the Royal Rumble winners. Like, okay, this person's had a lot of championships under his waist. So we are going to give the Royal Rumble match to him because we feel like he deserves to not only main event Royal Rumble, become the winner, make history, and now main event WrestleMania. So I guess it's up to Seth Rollins if he can sell it to me, and I'm pretty sure he will because I am a fan of Seth Rollins. That he is the Royal Rumble winner, and he will be in the main event of WrestleMania. Whoever that is for to be seen because it may be Brock Lesnar, it may be Daniel Bryan. Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan, I think, could be a better match than him and Brock Lesnar.
Way better.
So actually, hopefully they go with that. It is 15 minutes past 2 in the morning here. We still had no viewers for the remained part of this podcast. and that is because people have gone to bed, and we should too. This has been a fun discussion, as advertised. I actually do promise what I advertise. I don't cancel a match like SmackDown Live has done with a couple women matches recently.
Uh-huh.
Carmella's match. I'm like, and our social media networks, our Facebooks, our Twitters, Instagrams, and our YouTube channels. Mine's easy. You can just subscribe to the channel you're on right now. But I have provided the link to Black Arrow's YouTube channel in the video description below. So that's how you can follow us. I hope and I am certain this will not be the last podcast that we do together. It was a good chat, a good talk. Thank you for being on time. I know I said like, oh, you were like, oh, it was 8 minutes late, but but you weren't fashionably late. You were just in time to so we could review NXT TakeOver Royal Rumble. A good weekend capped off with a good podcast. And my entertainers out there, hope this entertained you all. I want you guys to stay entertained. Black Arrow, do you have parting words?
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Follow a nigga on Instagram at Black Arrow _ENT. I love podcasts. I love wrestling, but on my day to day, I do comedy videos. And if you like to laugh, follow your boy. Um, I'm glad that we did this. I've been trying to get Mr. Entertainment to do this for a while, but he said, "Nigga, wait." So, all right. So I can't wait to do this again, and that's how the arrow strikes. I've been working on that one.
I like that. I like how you like had that immediate confidence. Like I've been working on that one. Like it seemed like Kevin Hart in that Let Me Explain. Okay. Let's ride. Okay. But this is yeah, it was worth the wait, and this will not be the last that we tag team. Wouldn't tag team with anybody else. Black Air Entertainment and Mr. Entertainment are definitely a good pair for a tag team. So thank you all for listening, and have a great night until the next podcast.
Hey yo, nigga. Hey